Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well. This is my Mass Make Monday. Hopefully it'll go out on Monday. We shall see. My videos are kind of, coming out a little late because my internet's super slow and I do my videos at night. So sometimes it takes, a while for them to load. And you know what? I mean, I can tell you I make them on the day that I'm doing, the day, like today is Monday. I do try and do some things ahead of time, but I don't always get a chance to do that. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. We have been doing a series on making a journal, a Shabby Grungy journal, without using digitals. And that was the challenge that I gave myself. And I have had other people ask me about that. And I've also seen that question asked a lot, like on Facebook and things like that, because some people don't have access to a printer or they don't want to print digitals because it's expensive and they don't want to purchase like an eco tank or something like that. So they'd rather not go the digital route. Now, someone did comment that you can copy dye papers ahead of time and then print digitals on them, because I had made the comment that the good thing about using scrapbook paper is that you can coffee dye it and it won't bleed unless you have a if you have an inkjet printer, it will smear. So but they had said something about printing on coffee paper or pre-done paper, and then you print on it. So you coffee dye your paper and smooth it out and put it through your printer, and that does work. I've done it, but that's not really the point in doing this. The point in doing this is for people who don't want to print digitals at all. Okay, that's kind of what the point is. But what I was trying to do is say that a laser jet you can coffee dye after and it won't smear. A scrapbook paper you can coffee dye later, it doesn't smear. That's the plus. Inkjet, that it does smear. That's really it. Okay, but the point in this exercise is to let people know that if you do not want to print anything, period, what you can do and how you can make a junk journal. When I first started making junk journals, I didn't use any digitals at all, and they were my first journals, and they didn't turn out bad. I've actually sold all of them, so I don't even know. I don't even think I have one to show you, but I used things that were pre-printed, like some Tim Holtz flowers, stuff like that. I used a lot of I think his ephemera, other ephemera that I bought, stickers, stuff like that. So there was a lot of different things that I used, and I did fine without any digitals. So anyway, what I wanted to do today is talk a little bit about these two journals. This is the one I purchased. This is the one that we're kind of using to mimic a little bit. Obviously mine's going to be completely different because I don't have all the stuff in it, but she pretty much, I looked through this whole thing and I think I could only find like 1 or 2 digitals, and everything else was either scrapbook paper or stickers or napkins or stenciling. There was just really wasn't any digitals. And I remember her telling me that she didn't use digitals very, very rarely. And I don't remember exactly why. I think it was she just didn't like having to print them out or something, or something to do with printing. And that's a valid reason. I mean, that's probably the one thing I absolutely hate about if I do junk journals is printing out digitals. It drives me nuts. It's so boring. But yeah, I think this was the only digital that I saw in there, and it looks like she may have coffee dyed it because it looks a little smeared. It's really pretty though. It's an envelope. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. But everything else to me looks like it was all, you know, just different things that she used. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to go over some of the things that you can use. This is what we've done so far. I have nothing in it. So in order to fill mine, I'm not going to use any digitals. But let me show you some of the things I am going to use. And I'm not going to be able to do all of this on camera because I just won't have enough time in the series to do it. I do want to show you the things that she did. Like, this is just one of the cards that were in the scrapbook paper, and they look like they're probably all from the same kit. So it's just part of a cut apart, I'm sure. Here's another one. Let's see. This just looks like a book page that she made into a little envelope, and then took the rest of the page and then put some paper on it and then maybe stamped on it and just put that on there, and that's super cute. This just looks like, and I'll show you this, is there's some printouts that you can buy already done that you can make stuff like that. This is just a guest check. This just looks like some music paper envelope here that she made into an envelope and put some things on it. This just looks like a scrapbook piece of paper that she coffee dyed, possibly. Let's see here. This looks like a piece of a book page or a tissue. Oh, no. This is a napkin for sure. Looks like she decoupaged this napkin on here. And this looks like a Project Life card that she also backed with some vintage paper. This looks like an envelope that she, looks like it maybe came with a little card. And it looks like she coffee dyed it and then stamped it and put some napkin on it. Here looks like a layaway tag that she just kind of collaged on. And then looks to me maybe that's a fussy cut from a book. And there's some lace on there. So anyway, that's just some of the things. Not all of them, but just to give you an idea of the kind of things that you could make to fill up a journal. And her journal to me looked fantastic. I wanted to show you the kind of things I'm going to be using. These were the cut aparts that came in that paper pad, and I've already taken one out because I used it. And I coffee dyed these because I wanted them a little bit grungier than they were. And I'll be cutting those apart and using them. I'm not going to use them all in that journal, but definitely that's something that I want to look into. The kind of things that I like to decorate in a journal, these are readily available, guys. Here's just some, I buy these index cards. I'm pretty sure I got these at Walmart. They have the little tab on top. I think these are really cute, and I'll decorate those. I just think they're really fun to use because of the colors. Here's some plain one on the back, and then there's, you know, and of course you can get plain ones too. I have plain ones. Guest checks you can buy. I think I bought those at Walmart. This is, look through your stash of stuff you have around your house. This is an old CD thing where you would write down the songs, you know, like if you did a mix or something. I have some of those. Playing cards, any kind of playing card. These are kind of pretty on this side, and then they've got this, maybe that, or just plain playing cards. You don't have to have fancy ones. These are some pre-made file folders. You can find those just about any craft store very inexpensively. You could take those. They're already, you know, pretty, and then maybe just collage on them or something. You could have, these are just little cards that you can decorate. I don't know. I can't even remember where I got these or why I bought them, but I did. I have some, let's see. These are just, what do you call it? Oh, I'm sorry. Alteration tags. Those are fun to decorate. And just some plain tags. You can get those online very cheap, and you get like a lifetime supply. The other thing I have here, this is a weekly time card, and this is the foldable kind that you can fold, and this is really fun to make stuff with. So I use these a lot, and you can decorate those up. This is the long kind, you know, of time card, and you can decorate those. These are receipts, and you can still get these. They're not, you know, vintage or anything. I think you can get them at Office Supply, maybe even Walmart, or, you know, stores like that. And they come with multiple copies. What's really cool is you may have a pink one or a yellow one, and you can use those. Here's another pink one. While you're out, they still sell these. So, I mean, because people still use them. Maybe some recipe cards, all different kinds. The other thing that I like to use, of course, and a lot of people use, it's not just me, is different types of envelopes. Here's some glassine bags that I kind of sprayed. They have a really fun sound to them. You can buy those in bulk in a lot of different places. Envelopes, all different kinds. You just really can't go wrong with envelopes. And, you know, look through like old envelopes and things that you can always cover up the name of the business and stuff like that. See, this is an old one at a bank that kind of sold out to somebody else, and I got all their stuff. So you could easily use that and you wouldn't even know, you know, have that name on there. Craft cards, always good to use. This is one I've already coffee dyed. I love these giant windows in these. These are fun. Here's another, you know, this is just junk mail. These are those things when you go out. I think this is at Chili's, but they have them in different places. Those little kind of skinny bags that they put your silverware on. See, I grab things like that all the time. I love stuff. Just bags, any kind of bags, guys. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. You can put a larger one in as a page. That's always fun. Other things that people, I have a bunch of Project Life cards. I love to use those because I have a ton. There's probably a lot of people out there that do. So I use these all the time. They're kind of thin, but usually what I do is I'll put a book page or something on there, and then use those, the big ones, the little ones. A lot of times they have good writing space on the back, but it's always fun to use those. I've already kind of dyed these up a little bit. Here's just some regular plain cards that I've sprayed with a alcohol ink spray. Here is just a library pocket that I sprayed with some things. Here's some. This is just I think I got these at the dollar store. You don't have to have vintage. You can certainly just use regular. Here's a bingo card. Here's another weekly time card that was sprayed with all kinds of stuff. The other thing is you can buy pre-printed things. Like these are just vintage looking postcards. You can buy vintage looking picture postcards if you want to use something like that. Let's see here. The other things are, if you have vintage stuff, like here's some, these are those Rolodex cards. These are vintage. Okay, obviously these aren't printed, nothing's on them, but you can decorate those. These are vintage library cards. You could use those. So if you have your vintage ephemera, use it. You know, you don't have to have it, but if you have it, use it. I'm going to pile all this stuff over here. Don't forget your scraps. I have some scraps I want to use. Just because I've had them sitting there and I think these would be kind of pretty as tags, so I'm probably going to use some of those. Don't forget all the tags and things. Like this is a wonderful tag. It's nice and thick, and we could go ahead and cover both sides. Packaging. Don't forget packaging. Can always use that. Love this long, skinny packaging here. Some smaller pieces. This is actual vintage. Don't forget that. You can use maybe buttons and stuff. Look through your stash. You probably have some old stuff sitting around. This is something I picked up at an antique store. I got quite a few of them for pretty cheap. And these are just feed envelopes. So they're vintage. This, let's see. Oh, that's more packaging. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So that's kind of already done. This is just something, paint chips that we picked up. You know, when you go to the paint store, you can take these and cut them up and use them, maybe strips or whatever. You know, don't think that you can't use that stuff. This is just, this was in some packaging. I don't even remember what it was, but that is cool. Don't forget stickers, guys. You can use stickers of all kinds. Rub-ons. This stuff's all from the dollar store. Of course, there's all different kinds of stickers you can use. There is a ton when it comes to stickers. The other kind of stickers, I have a bunch of, and I'll get them out later, but this is a sticker book that I've yet to use. I have all these little things in here of things I want to pull out, and then I completely forget about it. But I mean, look, see these pretty birds and all this other fun stuff. There's so many things in here. So you can buy books like this, and this whole book is stickers. They're all stickers. See, look, let me show you. So you could use stuff like that. You don't have to fussy cut every single thing out. Not to mention there's all kinds of stickers everywhere. You just kind of look around. So, you know, some of these are a little weird. Some of them are not. So just kind of decide, you know, flip through them and go, hey, you know, this looks good, that doesn't. There's a ton in here you could use. And of course you can buy, I have vellum stickers that I use. I have the Tim Holtz stickers. I have the Tim Holtz cutout, stuff like that. That all, you know, that adds to your things that you can use. Don't forget stamps, guys. You can use them for background. You can use them for focal points. Whatever. Stamps are a great resource if you have stamps. And honestly, if you're new, you can. I see them all the time, like on Facebook Marketplace, where people are selling tons and tons of them. Tons. Okay. The other thing is, don't forget book pages. Music page. This is from Sears and Roebuck. There's some French English. I think these are some French pages. I bought a few books not too long ago, and I use this stuff all the time. So, and don't forget to keep these plain pages too, because they're great to use. So anyway, I think that's all the same thing. This is a dictionary page, but don't forget to use pages, because you can certainly use those on anything. Like here, for instance, I have a music page that I have ready to go, and I do stuff like, okay, this cracked, but just to give you an idea, you could put a napkin on there, and it looks great. That's the thing I was going to bring up next, napkins. And people will say, well, I don't want to spend the money. Every time I go somewhere and they have a nice napkin, I steal not only mine, anybody else's, even if they've used it a little bit. Usually a lot of people don't. And I just take napkins. Now, I have bought some like this I got at a lady's house, and I asked the hostess if I could have one, and she gave me a handful, which was really nice, really cute napkin. But I mean, you know, you can take pieces of this out and put it on an envelope, and it is just amazing what you can get with the use you can get out of napkins. It can just change the look of your journal completely. These aren't all my napkins, but these are just some that I pulled out that I thought I would show you, because napkins are great. And don't forget tissue paper. Let me get my tissue paper down, because I wanted to show you that. Just any kind of white tissue paper. You can just ink it up a little and then stamp on it, and then it makes great things to put on your journal. You can get fancy tissue paper. Let me get it down if I can find it. It's probably over here. I bought this at the dollar store. I use this stuff all the time, guys. All the time. I love it. It comes in silver. There's some other stuff. Of course, you can get tissue paper anywhere. I mean, I have, let's see, where's my other tissue paper? Coffee filters. I love to use coffee filters. Brown napkins. Of course, doilies. Don't forget doilies, guys. Doilies are great. Here's a dyed coffee filter. Here's some Tim Holtz tissue paper. Don't forget that. And of course, you can print your own papers. Here's some mulberry paper that you could certainly use on a tag, or you can put it as a page. Let me see what I can find here that I was going to show you. Oh yeah, here is some tissue paper that has just words on it, which is really kind of fun to use. Just a lot of different things, guys, that you can use that help you decorate without digitals. You don't need digitals. You do not need them. The one thing you do usually need, or I think you need, or most people think you need, I think, is you need a focal point when you're doing it. And that is, I think, the hard part for people who don't want to use digitals. It's because they're like, okay, so what do I use then, right? So, oh, here, and I was going to show you this too. I constantly am embossing things. Here's a beautiful rose. And I'll take pieces of embossing and put it on a tag or something. That is just something you'll always use. Here is, this is pattern paper, and I stamped on it so I could tear something out and use that on a page because I like the brown look to it. So just things like that. You can buy patterns for like $1 if you go to a thrift store. And that's what's cool about the embossing. You can just take your own old papers and emboss, and that helps use those up too. And just all those kind of things, guys, you can use. One thing too is, don't forget, I got this book for 25 cents at a bookstore. Actually, it was a library, and it was part of the part of the library was a bookstore where they would get rid of old books, and this was in Estes Park, Colorado. But what's so cool about this, I got a bunch of them, and I'm just showing you the smallest one. But a lot of them are like this, where they have all these wonderful pictures in here, right? Like, see this? I mean, here, I can tear that out so I remember, because I won't. Oh, I had 2 pages, I think. Nope, 1. What these are great for is to make kind of faux postcards. Let's see what I'm putting here. See, look at that. Isn't that cool? So, I mean, I could probably get 20 out of here just real easy. Real easy, guys. Super easy. And this book cost me 25 cents. Ooh, I don't want to rip it. Okay, there we go. You know, 25 cents. That's what it cost me. So, you can easily do this. And, let me get that out of there. Because I really do want to, and I need to use this stuff more too, because I don't. I rely too much on digitals, and I shouldn't. And I think I'm going to actually, because this series is being well received, I may do a once a week junk journaling without digitals, just so that people can see that you can do it. I could have just cut this string in there and it'd be a lot easier. But anyway, there's just so many things in there, guys, that you can use that are, you know, this is a 25-cent book. Okay. Here's another 25-cent book. All right. This is a Time Life book, and it is the famous, and I got a whole series of them. And what it is it they just go into each era. Now, a lot of these pictures are really big, but a lot of them aren't. Okay. So you could cut those out. Obviously they talk about people, but see, this would be great if it was smaller, but here's one right here that is, right? It's black and white. I kind of like black and white a lot. So for instance, I might tear that out, but there's a whole nother page here. Look at that. So we could just take that. I'm telling you guys, there is so much out there that you can use. You could probably go through your house and look at some things and probably find things in there that you could definitely use. Let me do that, because I like the size of those. So let's just say, you know, depending upon the type, I love using black and white pictures like that. Certainly. And the cool thing even about some of these larger figures like that, you can make your own your dolls, your paper dolls that Tim Holtz does, kind of your own style, because, you know, like, look at this. They even have some newspaper. Look at this. In the middle of it, they have newspaper clippings. Isn't that amazing? Or faux ones, but hey, right? It's on newspaper print. Wow. Isn't that amazing? And I think almost all of them have stuff like that. And it is just loaded with pictures. And I'm sure that they, like, look at that. Why couldn't you use that picture or any of these pictures, right? You could certainly make a tag out of those. So, I don't know. Let's just do that. I'm going to cut those. As I'm doing this, I'm like, wow. I'm telling myself I should have done that earlier, so I don't know. Okay. This could be sharper. I need to find my other one that I bought a new blade. I don't know where it is. No clue where I put it. Even after I've cleaned my craft room, I said, I don't know. I put it in a really safe place, I can tell you that. I just always do this because I'm usually cutting out multiple pages, and that's okay. I just let them sit in there. But there's so many things that you can use, guys. I mean, it's just, the sky's the limit. Look at those. See? I mean, depending upon what kind of journal that you're using. I mean, I just picked this one. There's like the whole book, you know, it goes all the way up to, I think it was in 1970s. So anyway, there's such, like, look at this, guys. There's all these advertising in here. So look through books, and I bet you might even have some. I looked through some of the stuff that we had at home, and I found some things that were actually extremely interesting. So the other thing, of course, you know, we all love our Edith Holden books. Let me move this stuff out of the way. You know, I mean, obviously, it's a gorgeous page. Isn't that gorgeous? You can cut things out. You can use part of the page. You can use this to make an envelope. You can use this to make a card. This is another book that I have that I absolutely love. Love, love, love. So I like to make pages out of that. But, of course, let me tell you what I do like to do, too. And people, I don't think about this. Well, I'm not going to say that. I've seen people do it, so I'm not going to say. But what you can do, guys, is take some of the pages where there is just writing on it and there's not a picture, which, you know, there's like little pictures. But these are great because the writing is so distinctive, and you can make maybe a little envelope out of that. I love doing that because, you know, normally maybe you wouldn't use that page. This is just from magazines. So let's see here. But there's just, oh gosh, I don't want to go through her whole thing. These are just, this is one I happen to tear up, but I have other ones. So, and not only that, too, even the pages that you wouldn't think to normally use. If you get a vintage book, the patina is so nice that you can even take pieces of this off, you know, and maybe stamp on it or do whatever. And that's what I love, too. And the other thing is that there are a lot, if you go through and look, there's a lot of poems that maybe you might want to cut out and you know, put it on something. To me, that's just a cool thing to do, to have that on a page. So, let's see. The other thing I kind of wanted to look at, just even some books that you think, okay, what could I use that for? This size is perfect to take out and put on like a card or something. Like, you know, those Project Life cards that we were looking at? Okay, these would be great for that. Those would be absolutely great because, you know, so when you're looking at stuff, don't look just for fussy cutting. Look at them as, you know, like, okay, so you could put that on a card, and then that would be by itself, maybe put a little lace or trim. I'm pulling these out because hopefully we will have a little bit of time to make a couple things. This is a book this is something else I had pulled out. I thought was really pretty that you could just put, you know, on a page or something, maybe a flip or something, maybe put something on the back so people can write. There's just so many things that you can do with books. And check your thrift stores. Honestly, guys, you can come across things. It's getting harder. People are on to us. They kind of, you know, maybe they kind of already know what they're worth, but a lot of times they don't. So, and even when they do sell them, they're not usually that much. So, let's see. Like, see this to me. Maybe I can cut that, get some of these pages out without having to rip them. That's the key, guys, on these vintage books. Most of them you are not glued. you can go ahead and do this. Like those, the Time Life ones were glued, so I kind of had to cut them. But like these, oh my gosh, there's so much that you could do with this, right? You can fussy cut this out. Oh yeah, this is great. Or you could use it as a page. See, look at the size. Would that be perfect? Absolutely perfect, right? So, I mean, there's just a lot. You know, and then some pages, maybe, this would be really hard to fussy cut that out. These are probably too big. See how big that is on the other end? You either probably would want to use it as a page, or you may want to use it as an envelope or something like that. You just kind of have to look through. This is a Victorian flower album by Henry Terry. The other thing, other than books, because I could go on and on about books, if you get vintage things, I know it sounds kind of weird, but okay, so this is a recipe book, and I love the patina of these pages. Absolutely love them. But I love the writing too, because it gives it a look that, I don't know, it's just different, okay? Where'd that top of that thing go? Here, let me show you. Okay, like on hers, I don't know, I can't even really decipher this, but, and this may not even be old. This could be like her writing for all I know. And anyway, so it's on here as a backdrop before the lace. And look at that. Isn't that cool looking? That's just so cool. And you know, I did that on the one I did. And I actually put, well, I don't even know where I put it. I actually put some of this vintage recipe book. I paid $3 for this book. The pages alone and the patina are great. These are fantastic to put on the back of journaling cards. Really, really, really pretty. Or stamp on and things like that. So look in antique stores and stuff, because you'll find stuff, I guarantee you, for not a whole lot of money. Okay, so the other thing to think about, I have original ephemera in here. You can always use a little bit. I don't always use a ton of it. You can use original ephemera. That always, I usually put a little bit in there just to have that authenticity. If you don't have that, that's not a big deal, okay? But you can certainly do that. You don't have to have, and this was not expensive when I bought it. So I bought it and I have it and I refer to it and I pull stuff out. This is printables that you can buy, and this was, I didn't keep the cover, Paper Moon Media. I got that on Amazon way back when, long time ago. And then I have this Advertising Ephemera Collection, and this is a different company. It doesn't say, but here's the book. These have already printed out things that you can use, which if you do not have a printer, this is, you know, a guide. And look on the back of it. Some of them have stuff on the front and back, which kind of drives me nuts because it kind of defeats the purpose. But you can just cut these out and use them as a focal point in your journal, and you do not have to have a printer, and they're beautifully done, okay? They're just fantastic. And these I have in pages so that, because I had torn the whole thing apart. But I think this is what I used exclusively for a really long time, and I still use it because they have beautiful, beautiful images that you can just cut out. They're already there. You don't have to print them. Some of them allow you to copy, some don't. You have to kind of read. Most of them allow you to copy them if you decide you wanted to do that. I usually don't. I just cut it right out of the book. So, because that's kind of the point, you know, not having to use my printer when I, you know. But look at all these images that you can use, and you don't have to have a printer to do that. So anyway, that's kind of an idea, you know, thing. And don't forget about the pre-printed stickers and ephemera and all the kind of stuff that you can get, like from Tim Holtz. He's got all kinds of stuff, flowers and vintage, and you know, I always wait for it to go on sale and I buy some, and I have a ton of it. I don't use nearly as much as I need to. I tend to kind of use it when I'm doing Tim Holtz stuff, but truthfully, if you sort through it, there's all kinds of stuff. There's butterflies, there's, you know, vintage people, and obviously all of his different people. That's always great to use. So don't forget about that kind of stuff. I really encourage people to think outside the digital box, because I do think that makes your journal look more unique. I think it adds a lot of personal flavor to it, even if you use digitals to do other things. And I think it stretches your imagination and your creativity to do that. So I don't really have much else. What I was going to do is maybe do a few things with you, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time. I think what I'll do is I will be making things with all of this stuff that I kind of, not all of it, but some of it, and then I'll show you when I'm done, because it's just too time consuming as far as me doing it, then editing it and all of that. I don't have time to do that and make the journal and try and do the other stuff. So I hope this helps people, and you know, like I said, I probably made, I would say, at least 30 journals when I started out with no digitals at all. So yeah, I didn't use them. I just used a lot of the other things I showed you, and I don't know, they turned out pretty good, I think. But okay guys, I will see you later, and I am going to have my Tim Holtz Tuesday and a What's on My Desk Wednesday and a Thrifty Thursday. I'm going to be on a lot this week, so y'all are going to get tired of me. So I may not do my Thrifty Thursday this week. I might just hold off and do it for the following week, because y'all are going to get sick of me. Fun Friday, I'm going to probably work a little bit more on those journals. Shabby Saturday, I'm hoping to be done, or we'll be doing the finishing touches anyway. And thanks for following me along on the series. I'm kind of trying to incorporate it into my normal lineup that I'm doing, and still do the other things, which is a lot, and still work on other journals. Okay, so anyway, I will see you later. Take care, and see you soon. Bye-bye.